All right, today we're in a bedroom here with the cat who's eating, and when she finishes, I'm going to go ahead and shampoo the carpet in this room. I've pulled the bed out and I vacuumed, and we're almost ready to go here. This is a Rug Doctor Mighty Pro X3. This is a unit that I purchased, and you can rent this same unit. This is the one that they typically have at the grocery store or wherever you see these, drugstore, etc. And this machine, I think I paid $4.95 for, which, you know, there's a lot of machine here for that much money. Everything's very overbuilt, very heavy duty, and I can't really see how Rug Doctor made very much on this machine. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost money on this. So, I mean, this thing is, there's just a lot of really heavy duty parts, industrial parts in this. It weighs quite a bit for what it is, and I'm impressed with it. Now, if you've never rented one of these machines before, it can be a little daunting because, you know, you look at it and it's like, well, how does it work? Because it's not ergonomic, it's strange looking, very boxy, and it doesn't operate like you would think it would operate, you know, in terms of how a vacuum works, where you can go back and forth. In this unit, you basically take the cleaner to the end of where you want to clean. And then what you do is, I'll show you in a second, but you press a button, turn on the machine, press a button, and the detergent comes out and shampoos the carpet. So let's first take a look at some of the cool features. It's got nice wheels, they're rubberized, and they're like straight up bolted on. And we'll flip the unit around here. And what you would do if you had the hand attachment, which you'd use for cleaning upholstery, all you got to do is pull this hose out. It just pulls right out, and then this smaller hose, and it clicks in kind of like a quick release, like an air chuck or whatever. And then you have power cord. Well, this is the power to the machine, and then this is your power cord, and it coils up nicely here, and you just tuck your cord in. And I mean, look at this commercial grade plug. So they'll probably never have to replace that. Because this unit's pretty much primarily rented, it has the instructions printed right on it. So if you don't use this machine often and need a little refresher, here it is. So let's go ahead and take this. It's empty right now, and as you can see, I got the solution ready. So you take this basically to the end of the line here, and I'm not going to turn it on because you won't be able to hear me. If you want to adjust your handles, which I typically do when I want to use it, you would just use this button, this trigger here, and that releases it, and then you have 3 points of adjustment where you can put the arm. So if you have it a little lower, it gives you a little bit further reach, and you can stand further away from it when you pull it back. All right, it also, which is very fun, it counts the hours that you've used the machine, since, once again, this is a rental machine. They want to keep track of how many hours are on it so they can service it and things like that. And here we go, police officer, warning. Please return machine hand tool on time. Additional charges will apply for late return. So basically, purchase this from Rug Doctor, but they used all the same stickers as if it was a rental, which I think is kind of funny, and I like it. I've never had to use the reset button, but typically this is a 3-way switch. So 1, 2, 3. So this is off in the middle, and then if you want to do carpet, which is what we're going to do, you would turn the unit on here, and then the unit would be on. And then here, right here, is all labeled, everything's labeled. You would turn the unit on, it would just be basically a vacuum at that point. And then you'd push the button here, hold this down, and then it would start spraying the solution. And then you just pull the unit back slowly, I think about 12 to 14 inches every 2 seconds, I think is what it said. Let's take a look at the instructions. So right here. 6 to 12 inches. Release at the end. Okay, so depressing the red press for spray button, pull the machine slowly and steadily backwards at a pace of 1 foot per second. Yeah, so 12 inches per second. For heavily soiled carpets, move at a pace of 1 foot per 2 seconds, which is where I got that from. And then it's got everything. Lift up the recovery latch. So let's just go through the steps. Okay, so lift up the recovery latch, lift hood, and remove white recovery tank. Okay, so that's this button, this switch, this button switch, I don't know, right there. And then this is the recovery tank. So as you're vacuuming, your wastewater ends up in here. Now, this thing is heavy. This is like at least 5 pounds, and it just looks like a plastic tub. I'm telling you, it's very, very well built. And the interesting part about it is I think this is on purpose, because if it wasn't heavy, the machine would be extremely back heavy. I mean, this thing wants to tip over right now. And so just that little more extra weight in the front when you don't have solution in it really makes a big difference. So you want to just be careful when you're getting this thing ready that it doesn't tip, especially if it doesn't have any solution in it. So next here is you'd go and let's just review. We'd mix the cleaner with hot tap water per label instructions, which is 1/2 cup per gallon. So I think this is a 5-gallon bucket. It's halfway full. I put 1.5 cups in here. Now we'll take this. I'm not going to do it on video because I need 2 hands because the bucket's heavy. And see, it wants to tip backwards. You'd fill it up, or you wouldn't fill it up. You put it in here, and you'd only go halfway up the mesh. And if you put too much, what's going to happen is that when you tilt it, you're going to have solution coming out the top, and it's going to make a mess. So, pretty cool. I'm fairly certain at this point, because this has all gotten wet, that every single screw in this unit is stainless steel. So I've seen no evidence of any rust yet, and that's a good thing, and what you'd sort of expect for a machine like this. So once you have it all put back together, let's do this here before it tips over. Close it all up. Make sure your handle's facing forward, so this will close. Lock closes and latches like that. Sounds pretty solid. And then we'd go through the cleaning process, which I've already described. So what I'll do is, I mean, this carpet's not super dirty, but we'll see what kind of difference we get. We'll do a few passes, and then I'll pick up the video again and just sort of show you if we can see any difference. But rest assured, the water that you pour out of this will be disgusting. Even if you think your carpet's clean, I assure you there's a lot of dirt and a lot of dust hidden in it that your vacuum doesn't pick up. And on that note, you want to make sure, very, 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 very sure, that before you go and use this machine on a carpet, is that you vacuum first. Because if you don't, you're going to pick up all kinds of dirt and hair, and it's just going to mess up the machine. So you want to have a good vacuum. I use a Dyson, and there's almost no debris in the tank, just dirty water. So on that note, I think that about covers it. And please let me know if you have any questions, and I'm happy to answer them. And make sure to subscribe and like this video so others can see it, because when I bought this machine, I certainly didn't see any videos about this machine or any kind of an overview or walkthrough of how it works. Thanks.